Happy Wednesday, everybody. Happy hump day, as my Pilates teacher would say. Today we're going to start on the floor, and I'm going to sit on a blanket because it brings my hips up a little bit. And one of my students today told me that it was the Buddha's birthday. So I looked up poses we could do for honoring the Buddha's birthday, and Buddha poses, basically. So the way I'm sitting right now, which is just cross-legged, which you might know as crisscross applesauce, is one of the ways that I saw on the internet that would honor the Buddha's birthday, or would be considered a Buddha place, a Buddha pose. You can also, if you really are bendy, I can't hold for very long, you can also bring your feet up into a lotus, a full lotus like this, or even a half lotus. Sometimes it's just really comfortable. It depends on your body. So we're gonna start our breathing on the floor this time. And we're gonna do the 4 count up, in, hold for 4, out for 4, hold for 4. We're gonna do 3 really deep breaths like that to center you. So on an inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold at the top. 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold at the bottom. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold at the top. 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold at the bottom. 3, 2, 1. Biggest breath of the day. Inhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold at the top. 3, 2, 1. Exhale, stretch it out. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold at the bottom. 2, 1. And let your breathing normalize. So this week we're going to dedicate our yoga to anyone who has a birthday. Actually, my own birthday is on Saturday, which I just realized right when I was looking up birthday yoga. I was like, oh my gosh, my birthday is on Saturday. So to anyone who has a birthday this month, or if there's anybody that, if you want to dedicate your yoga to somebody else, that's fine too. But today's all about Buddha birthday yoga. Okay, so we're going to start on the ground, and we're going to just have our legs in a cross-legged position. And one other way is to bring, for example, the left foot up on the right thigh, and then just to fold forward a little bit over your feet, over your crossed legs. Sometimes this feels really good. Even do some nice sweet little head and neck rolls with that. Okay. And then, of course, we want to give both sides equal love. So we will put our right leg up on our left. And sometimes one might be less flexible than the other. If this hurts your knees at all, keep yourself in a position like this and simply change which foot is in front. You never want to, if you feel anything in your knees, stop. If you're not sure, then stop. Okay, and then you want to take a nice little forward fold. Okay. Next, we're going to do something called a yogi squat. And so you can start, my husband has trouble with this one because his knees. So one solution is to grab either a block, or if you have a height, you can sit on like some books or even a box. Oh my God, that's heavy. Okay, I'm going to use this box. So you can so that your goal is to be, you're going to be coming down into sort of a squat position like this. Okay, so I am not going to use the box because I don't want to use the box. It doesn't feel good for me. So I'm going to be down in a squat position like this. Okay, and you want to take your arms and push out your knees to the degree that is appropriate for you, that feels logical, that feels right for you today. Then you're going to take down your left arm on the floor, and you're going to bring your right arm back and just open it. This is a pretty deep stretch. Even though it may not look like it, you're doing a lot here. You're getting into your inner thighs. You're getting into your side body, and also your back is twisting. If you want more, you can stay here. This is great. If you want more, you can take your right arm, reach it all the way around your back, and try to connect your hands in what's called a bind. A bind is any time you close a chain around a part of your body. So if you looked behind me, you would see my hands linked in a bind over my leg. Okay, let's come out where we started. So now we're all up here. And bring your hands back to heart center. Let's do the other side now. You're going to bring your right arm down and your left arm up. And just hold it here for a few breaths. Depending on how you breathe, you won't even have to move your body, but rather just expand your breath in order to get more out of the pose. So if you take a really deep breath in, you might feel how your belly is even expanding between your thighs, is pushing your ribs out, is deepening your stretch. And for the sake of symmetry, we will go ahead and reach around. I like this a lot. It's a great shoulder opener. It's a great heart opener. You can even look up if you want. And again, if this is not happening for you, you can always grab like a blanket and grab both sides of it behind you. That's another way of doing it. Or a yoga strap, or just a strap or a piece of cloth that you have. Okay. So now we're going to come up, you're going to place your hands on the ground, and you're going to slowly bring your legs to maybe not even straight. You're going to heel toe your feet till they're hip distance apart and parallel. Grab onto opposite elbows. You're going to just kind of make a box around your head, and then you're going to do a nice ragdoll, leaning back and forth, kind of swaying your body and bending your knee. The opposite knee from the way that you sway. So for example, if I'm going to my left leg, I'm going to bend my right knee. And when I go to my right leg, I'm going to bend my left knee. Nod your head yes a few times. Shake your head no a few times. Come into a halfway lift. And then come all the way down, just like a rag doll. And you're going to do a circular motion as if you were a rag doll. You're going to come up the left-hand side, very, very limp. And you're going to allow your head, you can either have it draw back or you can have it hang in the front. And then you're going to start back down the other side. And you should feel this right up this side of your side body. It should actually feel really good. We're going to do one the other direction now. Okay, and your breathing during this is just smooth, steady. I'm actually going to just leave my head down to the front for this one because that's what feels good. And this is a little bit of slouchasana, I know, but it's okay because we're not putting any pressure on the back or on the head, the neck. So, okay, once you're done, go ahead and come all the way up, stretch your body all the way up through your fingertips, and come back to heart center. The last Buddha pose that I saw was a pose that I've also known under the name as of goddess or horse. So you're going to step your feet out about 4 feet or so. You don't need to measure it. You're going to flick out your toes so that your heels are flicked in. And you're going to come down to the degree that makes sense for you today. This is called goddess pose. But when I looked it up today, I realized it was also a pose that the Buddha has taken. So in honor of the Buddha's birthday, here is that pose. And we'll hold it for just 3 more breaths. You can feel your thighs cooking here. Think of them in an oven, and you're transforming them. That's why they're cooking. And then what we're going to do is we're going to flick our heels out, pigeon toe your feet, and do a nice forward fold. And you can bend your knees for this one as well. You can just go ahead and crawl yourself beneath. And because I have a wall behind me, I'm going to offer up a headstand variation. So you can put your hands on the mat in a tripod sort of configuration. You can put your head down and maybe you take your feet up the wall. Maybe you don't. Maybe you stay here because you're like, I'm comfortable here, that hurts my neck, or that makes me nervous. I'm going to go halfway lift and come all the way back up. We have to throw in a warrior two because for my birthday, I want to do my favorite yoga pose. So you want to bring your left knee bent, your left thigh somewhat near parallel. Okay, straighten those arms out and look over your right arm, your left arm like a boss. Flip up your left hand, come back into peaceful warrior. Peaceful warrior because you are open to anything that comes to you. You know you can handle it. And then you're going to come down to side angle stretch, which should feel really good. Actually, it just feels so good, and I'm doing this right now. And we're going to come all the way back to reverse warrior. And then we're just going to cartwheel down to the center. And we're going to come up to the other side. So you're going to take your right knee now and bend it to the degree that makes sense for you. Mine's going to be right there today. Okay, you want to have your arms nice and straight. Look over your right hand now like a boss. Hold this just for a minute. Not a whole minute, but just for a second. Get your breathing back under control. Flip your hand up and go ahead and take it back into a peaceful warrior. You should feel this really up your ribs. And we're talking about breathing into the pose and letting the breath take you. This is an example of where you could do that. You could breathe in and you notice that everything expands and it actually brings you into a deeper back bend, depending on how much you breathe. Okay, we're going to come into side angle stretch pose. Okay, so you want to just really open up that left side body. Back to peaceful warrior. Okay. And you're going to come back down to the center. We're going to go back through our yoga squat. So come on back down. Hands to prayer. You're going to plop back on your seat. You're going to bring your feet to a comfortable cross-legged position. It could be like this. It could be half lotus. It could even be full lotus. And we're just going to sit like that for about 10 seconds, just breathing. Nice deep breaths. And just think about all the good things you're doing for your body in this very small amount of time you're dedicating just to yourself. You're taking care of a lot of spots in your body that probably wouldn't get the attention that they needed if you just kept going on in your day. And that's what yoga does for me. It makes me stop and say, hey, my body says it's my turn. I get to be babysat for this much time. I say, okay. I'm going to undo my feet. We're going to finish with a forward fold. So you're going to bring your arms straight up. You're going to kind of move the, kind of basically pull your buttocks back a little bit so that you're sitting just on your sit bones. And one thing I really like to do is take a blanket and fold it, and I like to put it right under my tummy so that when I fold down, my tummy is protected, and not just protected, but supported. That's what I meant to say, supported. So you can pull back on your feet if you want to get a stretch through the bottoms of your feet. If you want to go further, you don't need anything there. You can simply go further, but be sure that your body's ready for it. Okay? And one other thing I like to do is take the blanket and put it so that my head is leaning on the blanket for support. That way, when I do this, my neck is protected because there's not going to be this suspension on my cervical spine. Okay, so with that, you can stay in the forward bend as long as you want. I love forward bending, so I'll probably go back in once I finish this video. Thank you so much. Namaste. I'm Kelly Ronsheimer. Have a wonderful day.